coming out of executive session.
Okay.
We are back on item under old. Second.
Yeah, I just think, for me, and I've said all along, I am not against caps per se. I think at some point, we may see on this island, if we got some sort of real runaway investment, issues going on, that we might want to put the brakes on and do something different. But all along, I've been in favor of us monitoring this situation, putting a method, apparatus in place that we've talked about where we have someone that's helping us with this, helping us analyze the trends that are going on, and make a decision thoughtfully as we go along, one that can be changed at a moment's notice if it has to, but keeps us on top of the situation where short-term rentals are headed. And if we see a problem, then we can react to it. This particular issue here, I know it's divisive. I know we have a lot of people that are for caps, a lot of people that are against caps. But what I can't get beyond personally is I think that we are doing things, if we install caps right now, that could affect people's property rights negatively, affect their lives, affect their children and grandchildren's lives. And I'm just not in favor of us going in and putting a
come to on the island where our short-term rentals will outweigh the permanent community. And we'll set the tone for the island. We'll be an island of renters with some residents rather than an island of residents with some renters. So I think that if we need to slow this process down. If we put a cap on, we can always take it off. My feeling is that our property values will not go down because usually shortages mean that things go up in value. But that we no longer have a free market operation because of circumstances beyond our control, what is going on everywhere around us off the island. So I firmly believe that we need a cap. If we put a cap on and we see that it's not necessary, that all of these short-term rentals licenses that have popped up this past
everyone who has come and spoken. And I feel like the two biggest issues for the people that are against caps are issues that we can address through a reasoned cap, and that is allowing 4% people to rent. And that's not just for the 72 days, but allowing, if you have a 4% rental, if you have a 4% property tax, that you can apply for a short-term rental and you can keep it for 3 years. And I feel like that would solve the problem of a lot of people who say they want to go travel or they want to they need to move off the island for a little while, and there's a lot of options there. I think that would be beneficial to a lot of people. And then and then just letting 4% people get short-term rentals. So many people have also talked about, why are we going to change? Why do we need to change? Well, change is the one thing that is inevitable. And our world has changed around us. This isn't something, we are the last place that hasn't gotten a cap. Mount Pleasant allows like 400 short-term rental licenses. That happened, Jimmy asked earlier today, why are we doing this now? This wasn't a problem 30 years ago. Well, because nobody had a problem with it 30 years ago, because there was no such thing as VRBO 30 years ago. I mean, the world has changed. Go look at the ordinances. I mean, it's page after page after page of already restrictions. I can't own a business in my house. I have a guy. A bumper sticker quote, I think. So I think that we're going to regret this if we don't do it. But I think the rest has already been said so many times.
You think? No, I think this whole thing it's been self-inflicted. And I'd like to see, I agree with Rusty, if we need to do something later on, we can. But I'd be curious to see what happens in the next 6 months, if the rental licenses trend down. I'd be very surprised if they trend up.
Other questions, comments?
I would like to say one thing about what Mr. Ward just said, and that is the fact that if they do trend up, right now we've been looking at some caps that are roughly a third of the island, and they're giving some headroom so that people still can get short-term rental licenses. If they do continue to trend up like they are, then we won't have that headroom anymore.
Nicole, you want a roll call vote this one? Please.
Do you need to repeat the motion?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. The motion I made was for alternative number 5. But continue to increase enforcement efforts, monitor trends and metrics, at least semi-annually.
Councilmember Ward? Aye. Councilmember Streetman? Aye.
We got no sound or a whole lot of sound?
Councilmember Popson?
Aye.
Councilmember Anderson?
Nay.
Councilmember Pierce?
Nay.
Mayor Pounds?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So I think our next steps here, Desiree, I know we've got a sheet in the book or in our packet around kind of next steps and things to consider. Workshop, next workshop tonight. Because I think there are things that our staff has spent some time working on from a staffing standpoint, from an enforcement standpoint, a lot of comments that have been made. Staffing, people, software, we took care of a few of those tonight. Council's appetite, nowhere on this, we'll do this at our next workshop.
What? Yeah, we'll do it next workshop.
Are you saying, Mr. Mayor, that to start dealing with what we just passed?
And how to enforce.
And how to enforce,
yeah.
how to
So
put,
staff has spent time putting these other things to consider together,
the sooner the better.
yeah.
We just need to keep tracking it.
Yeah, and I don't think a couple of weeks is gonna kill us to have this conversation, Desiree, around other items, do you? There being no further business.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
9:40.